Hey, what's up?
Hi there, welcome to Astrology. I'm Amy, this is G, and we're doing a free reading. And our statistics on this free reading are January 28th, 1962, 5:48 a.m.
This is the free reading that we give to all of our subscribers. If you don't know how to do that, you go down below to the comment bar and just punch in down there that you want a free reading and leave us birth date, time, place, city, state, and all that good stuff. From your birth certificate, please.
Yep.
So the accuracy is dependent on that. And
Yeah.
we will give you a free reading. Don't forget, after you comment, well, obviously you have to subscribe first because that's the only way you can do a comment, but do yourself a favor and tap the bell. The bell will alert you as to when we upload, when we publish your free reading.
Mm-hmm. And it's really important that you get the time exactly right because the time orients the entire chart. So we have to have the exact time. If for some reason you don't have the time on the birth certificate, but you have an idea of approximately when we can do a rectification.
Let's move along before we get ourselves into trouble.
Just a quick plug.
Okay. So we want to do a little history for you. That's how we like to establish the birth time that we have, basically, which we say is establishing the validity of the chart and astrology. Yes, that's a cat in the background. They're waiting to be fed, so...
They're hungry. It's dinner
we
time.
told them as soon as this video's over, we're going to take care of them. And, yeah.
She's going to be really noisy, actually.
Taffy, come here. We need you. Help us with this reading. Okay, so...
Okay, so what we decided to do, we decided to pick a date when we saw some very serious things going on, and the time that we picked was actually January of 1983, when you would have been just before your 21st birthday.
January 1983,
Yeah.
there would have been tension. You would have felt challenges, basically.
A lot
from
of
people
challenges.
in authority,
Yeah.
challenging your authority, challenging your vitality.
Challenging who you are, actually challenging who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Just who you are and saying, who are you?
And possibly then challenge your values of yourself as well, your identity.
Oh, yeah.
Your identity is a big deal with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I think identity, because this is all about being an individual. Like Uranus,
Yeah.
this person you have a lot of Uranian, you are a Uranian individual,
Yeah.
which is extremely unique, not to mention highly intellectual individual. And I told her at the beginning, boy, this is a compliment, man. We're getting a lot of these really super intelligent people asking for our guidance and asking for free readings. And I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, this is awesome.
Really intelligent.
So that
people.
event, January 11th, 1983, before your 21st birthday, the challenges...
Right around that date, it would have been the...
Right, there's a window.
Like the
Give it a
first
couple
3
weeks,
weeks
the
in
most.
January.
So where did the challenges happen? Were you working?
Yeah.
Where were you working?
Yeah.
It looks like it had to do with your belief systems, had to do with your opinions, your highest goals and hopes, what you kind of want to be known
Your
for.
aspirations.
Your aspirations.
What you were aspiring to do in terms of how you wanted to be seen in the world, what you were looking for in terms of your higher goals in terms of work and your occupation. It would have also involved just who you are as a person outwardly, and it would have been really fascinating. I wouldn't have been at all surprised. I would not be at all surprised if you had been fired from the first job that you had ever been fired from. You probably would have gotten into a...
You mean if this was their first job, you're saying?
Well, not
Like
even
at
if
this time?
not if it was, not necessarily that it was the first job, but that it was the first time that they were ever fired. Or
You mean
maybe
this event, this date?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Or
the
maybe
challenge
the
is
only
big.
the time that they were fired ever.
Yeah, this challenge is big because it involves your deep psychological being.
Yeah.
The inner parts of your psychological being that you formulated when you were young. So your belief system is tied into that. I mean, it is for everybody, but your mind's involved in this. And so it's a very emotional thing.
Really emotional.
And when we involve our emotions and our belief systems, you believe things should be fair and equitable for everybody involved. The group, the Uranian individual is very much about the people.
Yeah, you really have a belief in social justice.
Yes.
Strong belief in social justice.
Yes. So that would have been challenged. And somehow your identity, as she said, who you were as a human being was being challenged right along with that. So it wasn't like it was lighthearted stuff.
No.
And so when it's not lighthearted stuff, we respond in pretty strong ways.
Yeah.
And you have a tendency, we're looking at how you think. When you're a younger person, I should say, you probably would have had a tendency to speak before thinking or to act before thinking. You had to learn over time in relating to slow down, process thoughts a little bit more thoroughly before you spoke.
And given another configuration that you had at the time when you were born, you probably did not always stop and think before you spoke when you were younger.
Oh, hell no. Children don't. That's for damn sure. But there's even young adults.
It's even stronger. Mercury retrograde.
Yeah. Yeah. People, I mean, I have a lot of strong Aryan, not Uranian, but Aryan, which your third house of thinking is dominated by the Aryan type of energy, which is Aries, which is act.
Leap before you look.
Yeah, we like to say leap before looking, speaking before thinking, and all the oh shit.
Act before you think.
Yeah,
kind of ideas.
Yeah.
Instead of think before you act, it's act before you think.
Yeah, and
kind of energy.
That's real typical of young folks, right?
Yeah,
it's pretty typical. So this energy matures over time, and they learn how to really develop their thinking qualities.
But you've got it even stronger.
Yeah, and you weren't short on the thinking qualities, though. You came in with some strong thinking qualities.
You've got some very, very strong thinking qualities, but you had a tendency to be able to really kind of leap off the edge before you really thought about it.
And that would have been, as I'm looking at that would have really been more relatable to siblings.
Yeah.
When you were younger.
Yeah.
You're growing up, whether it was close neighbors, if you didn't have siblings, it was whoever was around you all the time.
Yeah. The
Whatever
kids
friends
down the
you
block.
Had. Yeah, if you had a lot of friends when you played. Well, yeah, you probably always had a lot of friends, but.
Oh, you always had a lot of friends around
or
you.
you have that desire, no doubt. So anyway, we're going to kind of speed this up now. That was to give you a little bit of history as far as the energetic things and how they mean things, and there's,
right.
these past looks we can take. So we're going to speed up a little bit now and go to more about the present day, which is we have down the date of August 29th written down. So here's a good nugget. Hold on to that date. It's actually right around the corner.
Yeah.
There's a time when your thinking is going to become even more clear. And I want you to pay attention to your thoughts at that time. On August 29th, it's a time when your mind becomes very much connected to the divine mind. Like there's this direct link. Your radio frequency is tuned in right to the divine mind at that time. And you're right. Is it just that one day only?
No.
Give it a day before and a day after. So 28th, 29th, 30th. If you have dreams, which I don't think you're going to be really into dreaming, it's going to be more of visions. Things that come in fast, like a flash. So I said fash. Fash, damn it. You don't know what fash is?
Don't be surprised if they come in when you're in that state in between sleeping and waking in the morning. So my suggestion is to have a journal next to the bed so that when you see them, you can write them down.
Yeah, that's funny you said see them. I mean, I know I said vision, but because this happens and it's in this sign, which is like, it's going to be visual stuff. Mm-hmm. Might be very colorful bursts as well.
Yeah.
But keep track of some of these things because there's a time coming up shortly after that. It's like September 1st. Around this time, you're going to set intentions. I don't know if you believe in this sort of thing or not, but here's a part in your reading where we want to stress the importance of doing this, because there's this other marker that has like a deadline on it.
Right.
And for you in your chart at this time, the deadline is like roughly 6 months from now.
Yeah, so
you have like a 6 months window of working within with establishing and satisfying your soul's desire.
Right.
Okay, you can do it. It doesn't mean it has to be completed. It means you have to be on the road to working towards your soul's desire. And you have to be doing it in a way where it's just not a want, but you're actually taking tangible steps. And you have them maybe plotted out.
And the fact of the matter is that you're going to have to do this no matter what, because
we all do.
This is going to be a combination that because of what's going on energetically, you're not going to have a choice. You're just not.
And it's to your advantage.
It's to your advantage. So you might as well go with the flow, because if you don't do it, the universe is going to make you do it. So you might as well go ahead and set the intention now and follow through with it.
Yeah, it's being smart. It's saying, okay, I know this ahead
getting
of time.
ahead of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what the intention is about. This is about understanding that in your life, it is really important that fun in relationships, fun in your close personal relationships is really important. Now, for you, when you came into this lifetime, being in groups of people and having the group of people that you're involved with is easy.
Oh, yeah.
It's really easy. It's really easy to be at the center of a group of people, to be in the midst of it, to have your fun in the midst of the group of people, to be involved in a group, and to not necessarily put the emphasis on your one-on-one relationships. And in this life, one of your soul's most important objectives is to put a focus on that one-on-one relationship, no matter whether you're talking about your closest friendships, your significant other, your partners that you're in business with, but any of those close ties. And it's really important for you in particular to put focus on being creative, being fun, to having finding creative ways to have a good time and putting a focus on that other person.
This could involve children as well.
It can.
Okay.
It
so
can
whether
involve,
that means
if you have kids, and putting that focus on that relationship.
Yes.
And creating fun ways to get involved with those kids that you have, and creating a day out with them, creating a regular event that you do, say once a month with them. But having these things that you do with the most important people in your life on a regular basis, where you're putting the focus on them and not on you, or not on a bigger group of people, but just the two of you.
Yeah.
Just the two of you.
And you'll be good at this. You have help where you know that things being fair and equitable, having a balance, you know that's important. That's in your belief system. You know how important balance is. So that you have help with that. But I just feel it's important to point out that it could definitely possibly involve children, whether they're your biological children or not. Any children you have in your life that feel like your kids.
Your
okay?
nieces,
like
your nephews, your best friends' kids.
Yeah. And this isn't just we want you to go out and find kids. It's whoever. No, it's whoever you have those kind of relationships already set up with.
Right.
That they're part of this as well.
Right.
Okay. Because family's
that's
a big
one.
deal
I
to
didn't
you.
even think about that one.
Yeah. It just kind of popped in. Family's part of this too for you. Family is important to you in general. So I'm guessing you have people like that, and it's not really a guess when I say that. I'm reading the energy here. family is important to you. So you might have people that you consider family that have nothing to do with blood. And I know we always have to reiterate this whenever we do readings, because people in general think, well, family is my born mother and father, my born siblings, and it's not. What's your favorite thing? My mother of the other, whatever. I don't know.
My mother by another.
My sister by another.
My brother by another mother.
Yeah, something like that. So we have all these different connections that we've made in this lifetime, and so those people could be included in this too. Okay.
Yeah.
And remember, so that leaves you, like I said, about 6 months. Now, within this time frame, because we're about up with our free reading here, we're at our 15-minute, like my red light is flashing alert up there. There's we're giving a heads up to everybody. This is another nugget for you to walk forward with, which is at the end of December of 2019, going into January, there is this big conjunction coming up for all of us in our charts.
It's for everybody.
Everybody.
It's the whole world.
Yeah. But on the private micro of your life, it happens in your first house. Our first house is all about my being, who I am, okay?
My physical
My
body.
physical body. So that means changes and transformations. So we want you to be aware of that. We want you to give the heads up to you on that. This is something that you might have noticed changes in already, because we had, these events that occurred. And we had eclipses, which means changes are coming in your home, in your location of domestic animals and pets and health and your day-to-day routines, your job, like all these things fall into that category. And so that means changes are coming, and we're all going to be experiencing, like all of 2020 is going to be huge changes for everybody. So just figured you should know these things, and if you need anything more that you want us to look into, you just go down below, contact us, and let us know. Is there anything else you need to add?
No.
We're at that wrap-up time.
No,
so
we're
with
right
that,
there.
hope you enjoyed your free reading, and thank you so much for the subscription. We appreciate it very, very much. And if you got anything of value, don't hesitate to please share, and please leave us a Facebook review. We always appreciate those, and just be honest. That's all we ask people. Be honest.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.